Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So welcome to the second episode of Christian Apologetics, this new series that I'm gonna be uploading on Sundays, where I'm gonna try to explain to you and bring to you all the logical and evidential arguments that there are to conclude the fact that it's more reasonable to conclude the fact that there is a God that exists, so the existence of God, and that the Bible and the Gospels are reliable eyewitnesses accounts, especially regarding the birth, life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, and therefore what they say is truth. So in this second episode, I'm going to talk about the fine-tuning argument, one of the many arguments that exist in Christian apologetics for the existence of God. So this argument, in a few words, says that if we exclude God from the equation, so if we assume the fact that the universe and everything in it can exist solely by chance, the probability of this happening is highly unlikable. So it's very improbable that the universe can exist and that life can form in this universe if we exclude God from the equation. And why is that? Because there are a lot of mathematical and numerical constants in the laws of physics that allow the universe to exist, that allow life permitting conditions for life in this universe, and then that allow life to even arise in the earth. So there are like three main portions of the fine-tuning argument: the one for the universe, the one for the earth, and the one for life in earth to arise. And so I'm gonna now talk about this argument because I've received a very negative and harmful comment in my last video, someone calling me dumb and stupid for believing that you need to have God to conclude the fact that otherwise the universe will not exist. And this guy was arguing the fact that there are billions and billions of galaxies, everything is natural, and there is no God needed for this. And so that's why I'm gonna present to you now the fine-tuning argument, because you're gonna see that if we exclude God from the equation, the probability to have the universe as we see it today, because the universe exists, life permitting conditions on the earth exist, and life is present on the earth, everything exists. So the chance of all of this happening just by chance, even if you consider all the billions of years that evolutionists and atheist scientists add, is just very improbable and highly unlikely. So I'm gonna just this argument is very specific because it goes into mathematics, into physics. So certain things I don't even know much what they mean. I'm gonna try to explain to you now briefly the main points so that you guys can have just a slight idea how strong and how unlikely these things are to happen just by chance. So just considering cosmic constants. So some laws of physics that are essential for the universe to exist and then to have life permitting conditions. So just looking at the what are called the four fundamental forces in the universe, that are gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force, and weak nuclear force. Each one of these forces, of these laws, has a constant. Now this constant seems, because it's like that, seems to have been fine-tuned to the 100 numerical number after the comma. If these constants would be any different, smaller or bigger or greater, the universe as we know it would not exist. So if we talk about the gravitational force, if the gravitational force would be any greater, everything would collapse. If the gravitational force would be any smaller, stars and planets would not be able to form. So you can see already how important it is. Second force, electromagnetic force. If this constant would be any different, stronger or weaker, we wouldn't have all the chemical bonds that are essential for life to exist. Strong nuclear force. If this constant would be any smaller or greater, we wouldn't have all the chemical elements that are essential for life to exist. So we wouldn't have any stable chemical elements. If instead the weak nuclear force constant would be any smaller or greater, the stars would not be able to form. So you can already see just with these four forces, there are a ton of different other things, but just looking at these four laws, you can already see that even to have the stars that we see on the universe, these billions of stars and these billions of galaxies, even to have them so that they can exist, you can already see that you have to have these four elements, these four laws, all fine-tuned. If any of these laws would be any slightly different, of these constants would be any different, the stars would not be even able to form. So you can see why, if we exclude God from the equation, so if we say that God, there is no creator, there is no intelligent designer behind all this universe, then you can see that just with chance, the probability of having all these constants fine-tuned to have the conditions that we see today, because we can see the stars exist, the universe exists, the life exists, so all these constants are fine-tuned. So to have all of this already like this, so set up perfectly, is already a huge proof that if you exclude God and you just take chance, the probability of this is very, very low. Then there is another thing called a cosmological constant, that is the rate at which the universe expands. If this constant would be any greater, the universe would just fly away. If instead it would be any smaller, the universe would collapse. And then there are very important, for example, the initial conditions, so the initial distribution of mass energy, the entropy, that must have been very, very low in the initial conditions of the universe. But this to happen, so the chance, the probability of this to happen is 1 to the 10th to the is one chance in 10 to the 10th to the 123. So it's like an insanely small number. Like imagine a 0 followed by 100 zeros and then a 1. So that's the chance that the mass energy, so the entropy at the initial conditions of the universe, was as low as it must have been for the universe to exist and to be as it is nowadays. So this number, like 1 to the 10th to the 10th to the 123, already tells you how unlikely it is, only with chance, to have the universe as we know it is. So this is a strong argument for the existence of God, because only God, only an intelligent creator, can explain all these fine-tuning constants that we find on the universe. Then we have all the, as I said before, all the planetary conditions that we can find on our planet Earth that allow life to exist. And this is, for example, the fact that we have steady plate tectonics, we have the right amount of water, we have a large moon with stable and right planetary rotation conditions, we have enough sulfur, we have enough planetary mass, and there are a much more detailed and important things like the position of the Earth in the galaxy, the distance from the Earth to the Sun, the fact that we have bigger planets around us that can protect us from huge asteroids and stuff like that. And there's many, many different things. And everything adds to the fact that all of this emerging just by chance is highly unlikable. And then there is the fact that life has arisen here in the Earth. So if you exclude all the cosmological conditions, if you exclude all the planetary conditions, then you still have to answer the question, why did life arose on the Earth? So why were the odds of life, DNA arousing just by chance because of atoms, and chemical elements just combining with one another? What is the chance? What are the odds of a singular functional protein to be built just by chance? And there are many scientists that have tried to answer this question. And here I'm not going to go through all the numbers because again it's just very specific, very mathematics. And they just calculate here based on the fact that the total amount of the universe age is estimated to be 14 billion years. Then the fact that the random formation of just one functional protein has been estimated to be 1 in 10 to the 164, and then the fact that you can assume to have a lot of reactions per atoms, like a lot of things. But then at the end of the day, what's the result? The result is that even if you take into consideration all the time of the universe, every possible atom reaction, every possible chemical reaction, to have a single fully functional protein is like 1 to the 49. So one chance in 10 to the 49. So that's 0, 49 zeros, and then a 1. And that is just one single functional protein. It's not even DNA. And so DNA is billions of times more complex than a singular protein. In order to have DNA, all the structure, the fact that you have them proteins to read DNA, to then code to other proteins, and so on, all these things, if you sum them up together, what's the conclusion? The fact that all of this, so all the life, all the things that we see nowadays, the probability of having all these things arising just by chance and having life arising just by chance on the Earth are very, very unlikely. And therefore, the conclusion is there must be a God. So there must be an intelligent creator behind all of this that has created the universe, that has created all the laws of physics, and that has created life in Earth to beat these numbers, this probability. So yeah, that was the video, guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and see ya. Bye bye. God bless you.